Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream watch along of the Champions League fixture round 7, RB Leipzig against Sporting CP. I am your host for this evening, Justin Crozer, the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the original RB Leipzig podcast in English. Please let me know if you can hear me, and while you're trickling into the stream, welcome to all viewers this evening. We'll go through and touch on the starting lineup very shortly. We'll go through some predictions. We'll have a general chat, and we have our refreshments. We have the Red Bulls as well, so we're ready to go. Welcome to everyone coming into the stream as well. Let me know if you can hear everything crystal clear. Everything sounds perfect on my end, but the more important one is your end. So big news as well coming into this one. For anyone that doesn't know, Martin van der Voort has replaced Peter Galacci in goal for this evening. Something that I tipped on the podcast as well, as Peter Galacci was absolutely horrid in our last few games, and he's really gone off, down on his form lately as well. So it's very good to see with Martin van der Voort getting his start on there. A little bit of admin as well. I would also like to thank all the RBL Talk members of the podcast. If you would like to go join the RBL Talk members, all you have to do is go over to Patreon, and that is on the link in a moment. I'll put that up. Should have had this all ready to go, but no, wasn't going to plug it already. But RBL Talk members, you can get your membership over there, over on Patreon, patreon.com/RBL Talk. You can also join the free RB Fans Discord community. That's right, a free RB Fans Discord community. You can go that by clicking on the link here, just rbltalk.net/community. That is welcome to all RB fans around the globe. Doesn't matter who you support, preferably RB Leipzig, as there is team talk there. Not just team talk as well, but we have general chat. You can always chat amongst yourselves, just like you can chat amongst yourselves over on the chat as well on this live stream. We will go straight into what we call the lineup. And it's very good to see as well that, like I said, for those people just trickling in at the moment, Martin van der Voort comes into goal, replacing Peter Galacci. And we have some more people in the lineup. Just let me get this up on the phone here, just really quickly. For those that don't know, we are playing Sporting CP in the Champions League. I am your host for this evening, Justin Crozer. I am the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the original RB Leipzig podcast in English. I will be with you this evening, commentating and watching this watch-along with you. So we have Gertruda at right back, Orban and Castello Bishebu gets a start as well at centre-back. David Raum starts at left-back. Up front, we have Xavi Simons and Baumgartner in the central attacking midfielder roles. In the double six roles, we have Nicholas Seiwald and Amadou Haidara gains a start. And up front, we do have Luis Openda and Benjamin Sesko, who were both suspended for the previous fixture against the 3-3 draw against VfL Bochum. Welcome to everyone joining in on the stream so far this evening. If you've just joined in, Martin van der Voort is starting in goal in place of Peter Galacci, as Peter Galacci has been very poor lately, and it is deserved that he gets a start. Let's just turn this down so I don't need to hear it. Okay. Also, by the way, we should have the live chat going as well over on Instagram. So hopefully you can all end up getting that as well. Unsure on how well it's going to work over there this evening, but it does seem to be working quite well, which is always good to see. Do make sure to check in occasionally as well, as I will be able to have a look and see who's in the chat there. Can see some people joining in over on Instagram, so good evening to you there. If you do see it, please make sure to comment along and see if I can get you in the live chat here over on the stream itself. If not, please just go over to Twitch, YouTube, or over on X if you would like to comment along with all the other people. Otherwise, I will periodically check throughout this evening over on Instagram to make sure that you are not left out. Welcome to everyone just joining in the stream. My name is Justin Crozer. I am the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the original podcast of RB Leipzig in English. The one thing, it was a little bit weirded out this morning when I was looking at the pictures the team has put out, that RB Leipzig is wearing their away kit. I know it's clashing with Sporting, but in my opinion, we really should have been wearing our home kit, and I'm definitely going to be wearing it this evening. Make sure to comment along wherever you are watching this live stream this evening. For me, for 11 a.m. currently, local time in Adelaide, South Australia, where I am from. The game is kicking off, I do believe, at 6:45 p.m. Central European time, local time in Leipzig this evening, and it's around about midday or something like that, approximately in the US or around that other side of the world as well. So reasonable hours except for me, but I wouldn't be doing this podcast if it wasn't for every single one of you. As the teams walk out onto the Red Bull Arena this evening, RB Leipzig haven't scored. I should say, my apologies, haven't won a game in the UEFA Champions League this season. They have scored, but it's not been enough to be able to get any points so far in the Champions League. If you haven't already listened to any of the latest RBL Talk podcast episodes, we had two special guests for the first time in the show's history in the same episode. We had Johannes Martin, an RB Leipzig fan, local fan in Leipzig, Germany, speaks brilliant English as well. Had him come on the show, and it was a really good insight for international supporters, including myself, to know what the atmosphere is like in the Red Bull Arena. And we also had two lads come on the show from the biggest sporting CP English podcast from all things Alvalade, and that was Richard and Sam over there. Great lads as well. Really enjoyed that. Those interviews are over on YouTube as well, if you would like to go watch them. Welcome to the stream there, Trolley. Hope you're doing well. We're ready to go, and this should be an absolute cracker of a match. If you're watching this over on Instagram as well, please make sure that you do comment along. I can see that some people are joining in the stream, and I don't get the comments so far over here. For those people that are just joining in as well, Martin van der Voort starts in goal, replacing Peter Galacci. We have David Raum on the left and Gertruda on the other side of the fullback positions. And we have Castello I forget his name now, Chadel Bashebu, number 5 there for RB Leipzig, starting at centre-back, getting a start next to Willie Orban. In the double 6 role, we have Amadou Haidara and Nicholas Seiwald, with Xavi Simons and Christoph Baumgartner up in the central attacking midfielder roles. And up front, we have both strikers who were missing in the last game due to suspension, and that was Luis Openda and Benjamin Sesko. Welcome to the stream if you're just joining in. And welcome, Trolley. No worries. You're watching it on the TV, as in you're watching the stream on the TV, or are you watching the fixture on the TV? I would love to know. Apologies for that. My Apple Watch just decided to go off for some reason. Let's crack open the cans and get ready into this. Player watch player for this evening for Sporting CP is Trincao. He is starting and he's going to be playing as a second striker. Beautiful. Nice to hear that, truly. I'm not too sure who the person is this evening on commentary over there in the Champions League fixture this evening, but I mute the own commentary from Sky or whoever's doing it, just so that way I can hear my voice and make sure everything is all good on my end, and everything appears to be all good, including you're able to reply to this as well. Just make sure that we pick up the stream as big as it needs to be. There we go. And we'll just move me away over here. Don't need to worry about the stream size. Only problem about using MacBook or anything like that is that you're unable to have a split screen. And then you're unable to actually view everything. So we're underway this evening in Leipzig, putting up the scores now, 0-0, and we are underway. Yeah, absolutely, Trolley. Bishebu is finally starting. I have said on the podcast that he is a great prospect. He is not ready for prime time, so to speak, as he's not getting the ball at the moment. That is Gertruda down here on the right-hand side. Sorry, my apologies. That was actually Sporting. It's going to be a little bit odd here, just for a quick moment, as Trincao player watch gets the ball, and RB Leipzig deal with that really easy cross. So yes, going back to you there, Trolley, that he is starting this evening. That is Chidel Bishebu is starting. He's a very good young prospect. I do think he is ready to be able to play games at centre-back, especially this evening. There's no knock on him starting, that's for sure. But I don't think he's going to be first pick, obviously. And I do want to see him actually get loaned out or be playing a lot more games so he's further able to develop, as I do believe that he will eventually be the successor to Willy Orban, as gut-wrenching as that makes me have to say that, as Willy Orban, one, is my favourite player and is such a fantastic leader and centre-back. But eventually all things do come to an end, unfortunately, and that just means that hopefully he can retire as an RBL player. But let's focus on the game at hand, as RB Leipzig throw away possession from a throw-in from David Raum, and it looks like Sporting are attacking the ball out on the right-hand side, or the left-hand side for Sporting. Welcome to people over there watching the stream over on Instagram. Please make sure that you do comment along over on Instagram, as I don't get the comments by the looks of things over on the live stream here. So please make sure that you comment along so I can get you guys get involved with the stream. We did have some issues with the live stream watch along over on Instagram for the last match day that we had, which was the VfB Stuttgart versus RB Leipzig Bundesliga watch along of match day 17. I hope W09 scores his first UCL goal this season. Yeah, why not? Absolutely. Marco Rosa looking very fine there. Looks to be like a cashmere type skivvy or jumper. Is dressing in style this evening. Some big questions about Marco Rosa I spoke to with Johannes Martin, our local RB Leipzig fan, just to see what he was like, if he's still the right man for the job. For me, he still is the right man for the job until end of season at least, and we'll see where we go from there. Excuse me. As young Bishebu has the ball now, and him and Haidara pass the ball between each other. Back to Van der Voort, who doesn't make any mistakes, although with a Sporting attacker breathing down his neck. RB Leipzig trying to get the ball away, and Openda is down this evening for the first time of many times. And Sesko has the ball and has missed the goal. Yeah, Van der Voort did save. For those that are wondering as well, I'm watching the game here. My live stream is 4 minutes and now 4 seconds and counting in the first half, of course. So please make sure that you comment along wherever you are watching this live stream to get involved with the live stream, including if you are watching this over on Instagram, and comment along, as the comments don't show up, unfortunately, over here. But we're currently streaming over on YouTube, over on Twitch, over on X, over on Instagram. So the podcast is streaming live this Matchday 7 Champions League fixture. And yes, I do believe that he will stay there, Trolley. So there's some big talk here. Will Benjamin Sesko stay? I do believe that he will, at least until the end of the season. I don't see him leaving in January. He's too much of an important player for us, especially considering he is our top scorer this season, surpassing Lewis Openda, as he just hasn't been able to see the numbers. As Sesko takes the shot already, first shot he's had in the first 10 minutes of play, and it's just gone wide to the left side of the post. Just needs to make sure that he gets a better connection next time, and that will be going straight at goal. As the one problem I have with strikers in football is that at the very least you do have to work the keeper. Welcome to Julian Goldie. My apologies there. I was going to say Gollard. Over there, Bigger Scotland. I'm not too sure who Bigger Scotland is. If you would like to elaborate, that would be lovely. But welcome to the stream there, Julian. Let me know your score predictions as well while you're watching this stream. And let me know who you think will score. Will RB Leipzig finally get their first points in the Champions League? Or will Sporting get a goal? As there was a break on for Sporting, and Martin Van der Voort rushes out and heads the ball away from danger, and there's a throw-in for Sporting. Very well played there from Van der Voort. Cool, calm customer. I've said for months and months and months that he needs to start, and he needs to also be playing more games than Peter Galacci. And there's a... excuse me, losing my voice a little bit there. But Martin Van der Voort is the future, and with Johannes Martin, a local RB Leipzig fan, you can watch that interview or listen to that latest podcast interview over on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. He actually said that he doesn't think it's time for Martin Van der Voort to start most games yet, as the experience of Peter Galacci is too useful. And I do tend to agree in the sense of Openda shoots and it's an easy save for Sporting. However, going back to Martin Van der Voort there, I do agree with local fan Johannes Martin there. However, when you're really on poor form, you do need to change the man between the sticks. And obviously, once he's shown better form in training, you could think about possibly making that switch back. Good to see Julian there. Julian Goldie is a Celtic fan, but he can see a draw in this game. Yeah, I would take that, considering it would be first points for RB Leipzig. Good to welcome Celtic fans and other fans other than RB Leipzig joining in the stream as well. As we have a break in play here as Christoph Baumgartner fouls the Sporting player. Checking over on Instagram, please make sure that you do like the post over there, and also make sure that you do comment along over there, as I do get to see your comments. However, I'm unable to interact with you live from the dashboard over here. I have to quickly flick over to the other tab, as Gertruda has the ball with a throw in out on the right hand side in a dangerous position. Throw goes into the box to Sesko. Headers up in the air. Haidara headers it on as well, looking for Openda, but it's cleared away from Sporting. Ball still bouncing around, just not far, about 10, 15 metres, I would say, just past the penalty arc there. And Bishebu has our first mistake for this evening, and Trincao is away. Don't mind that. Get those mistakes out early on, as Bishebu tracks back quite nicely and blocks and holds up Sporting. Sporting have the ball just down on the right-hand side, looking for a cross, and a shot is taken, and it's gone out for a goal kick. However, there is offside flag has been raised. Sporting acquiring, let's try that word again, trying very hard to get the goal and the opener, and have got some nice build-up play happening. RB Leipzig need to be careful, as Sporting do have that quality across the pitch. They certainly aren't any easy beats by any means. If you're just joining in the stream as well, my name is Justin Crozer. I am the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the original RB Leipzig podcast in English, streaming from you live from myself all the way down in Adelaide, Australia, bringing you the commentary this evening from this Match Day 7 watch-along in the UEFA Champions League between RB Leipzig and Sporting CP. Currently Sporting have the ball in the middle of the park in the Leipzig arena, just passing it out towards the left-hand side for them. Right-hand side, as there's a fast break, as multiple RB Leipzig players are not in position, and it looks like Haidara tracks back quite nicely and is able to stop the cross coming in. It's still out on the right-hand side. First pass into the final third comes through, and there was a cross in looking for Trincao, but it was easily stopped by the RB Leipzig defence. Yes, Trolley, I am drinking a Red Bull. I have decided that I'm not much of a big fan of drinking Red Bull, as there is a cross coming in here, dealt with Nicholas Seiwald, which is good to see Nicholas Seiwald in a more of his natural role in the central defensive midfielder position, as he has been quite poor at centre-back of late. Has worked out a little bit for him, but as of late, so it's good to put him back in his more natural, favourable position. Going back to you, Trolley, yes, I am drinking Red Bull. I've decided for these live streams that I'm going to purposely play into the RB Leipzig hate that people say that we're customers and all this other stuff and whatnot. So I figured I'll drink a Red Bull on the live streams as well. I'm not really a big fan of energy drinks. I'm more of a coffee man myself. But if I do have an energy drink, I support the club, of course, and parent company, and that is obviously Red Bull. There you go, Julian, on the beers. Good to see, mate. Enjoy the live stream, watch along, and enjoy the pints. Make sure that you are drinking responsibly. Do not condone any excessive drinking or anything like that. It's this podcast and live streams are actually watched by many, including children. So always please make sure to drink. If you do drink, if you're of the legal age, drinking responsibly. Going back to this fixture, though, a nice interception here by Nicholas Seiwald in his natural position, as we've just touched on. RB Leipzig are struggling to get the ball out of their defensive third, still playing the ball in their main half, with Gertruda and Amadou Haidara linking up back to, looks to be Seiwald has now gone back to a centre-back role as well, which, yes, yes, Julian, I have seen some of you Scots, if you know what I'm saying, and which is a good little ha 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 from you at the end of your comment there. You Scots are all right. As Martin van der Voort is very far out from goal, just needs to kick that away. Almost gets himself fumbled around with the Sporting attacker breathing down his neck. Good to see Seiwald now back in his default position. Going to have to keep an eye on that. It does seem like he's playing a little bit as a covering left back and centre back when we are out of position. And we're just unable to get that final pass at the moment. With the final ball only getting through 3/4, as I've said that, David Raum receives it, nice cross in, and it's easily dealt with for a throw-in down on the left-hand side, approximately 20 metres out from the corner flag. David Raum should hopefully throw the ball straight into the goal area, if he can reach it, or at least into the penalty area. I think he'll play it short, though, by the looks of things. And he does play it short, plays it to Openda, and we're going to try and find an avenue into goal as Sporting cram the space, pressing quite nicely. Still playing down the left here. Xavi gets the ball. What can he do with it? Xavi runs into some traffic, does a 360, turns back, passes to Openda. Openda now loses possession, and it is away for Sporting. As Willie Orban puts in a beautiful challenge, gets nothing but ball, but it doesn't stop the attack. It does limit it, though. And the next transition is a foul from RB Leipzig, and there's going to be a quick break in play for a free kick. The foul looks to have been played by, again, Baumgartner, but don't quote me on that, as that was only done very quickly. Still no bookings for either team, which is good to see 15 minutes in. Excuse me. My apologies. Currently, Sporting have the ball down in the defensive third for them as a David Raum free kick with a push on the back from to Trencao, I should say, who is player watch this evening. Good to see him start as well. There was no guarantees that he was going to start this fixture. He might have come onto the bench as Sporting have the ball away. A nice challenge as well, again by Willie Orban. Another sliding challenge from behind. You have to get those absolutely right. Otherwise, it's in danger and easily a yellow card offence. Sporting now just gone past the halfway line, passing the ball down on the right-hand side for Sporting. RB Leipzig's left. Long ball played in. Willie Orban easily deals with that. And it's back to Peshebu at centre-back. Checking over on Instagram. Welcome to all those viewers over there. Welcome to other viewers as well on other platforms. If you're just joining in the first time this evening, I am Justin Crozer, the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the original RB Leipzig podcast in English. If you would like to get involved with the live stream, all you have to do is comment along wherever you are watching this, whether you're watching this over on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, over on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it these days. And we're also streaming on other platforms as well. Currently, RB Leipzig have the ball down on the... Sporting have the ball down the right-hand side as they try to cut in. And it's picked up by Seiwald, and the break is on. Poor pass from Seiwald makes Xavi wait for it. And he's just past the halfway line now. Passes to his left to David Raum. Raum passes back, doesn't like what he sees, and that's back to Peshebu. Passes to his captain and Willie Orban, and the build-up play starts again back to Peshebu. I do agree there with you, Julian. RB are definitely due for a win. That is probably going to be the biggest statement, I would say, in the Champions League. Forget that we're not going to be going through. We at least need to get points, and preferably we need to get more points than RB Salzburg as well, as we are the bigger club, or I should say the premier club of the Red Bull branded teams who play in the Champions League, and it will be very disappointing for us to be behind Salzburg. As I appended to Seshko, and it looks like Openda goes for kick goal, goes across the face, but I do believe he's offside. It looked like he was offside to me, and the linesman confirms that fact and puts him offside. Is a good half a player offside as well. I could see that myself. Just going to watch his run there, but that's what we missed in the last fixture with Seshko and Openda linking up quite nicely there up front. I've always said that Lewis Openda and Benjamin Seshko we need to keep a hold of for the long term, as that is a strike duo partnership that one strikes fear into opposing opposition defences, but it's also something that can test the age of time for a bit. We could at least have them for 5 years, as they're only in their early or mid-20s. As there was a poor pass that was played by, I don't believe, that was Baumgartner. And his first goal. Let's see if it's offside. Seshko taps in a goal from, a pass from David Raum. And it does look to be 1-0. Doesn't look like the linesman's got any issues with that. Obviously, VAR will be we'll be checking that out. Looking at the replay here. And we will see if Seshko is onside. Raum passes the ball and he's absolutely onside. No issues with that. Beautiful pass, easy tapping goal. Just getting the stat up here for the live stream. There we go. Benjamin Seshko opens the scoring for RB, and Raum with the assist. What did you think of the goal? Let me know in the comments below or wherever you are watching this live stream. If you've just joined us, RB Leipzig are in front 1-0 against Sporting CP in the Champions League at home this evening in the Red Bull Arena in Leipzig, with Benjamin Seshko opening the scoring for RB, with Raum with the assist. After that early few minutes, Castello Luqueba has been apologies, I'm going to say that for a little bit this evening. That is, Chadel Bishebu has been playing very well this evening. I do believe that Castello Luqueba is on the bench, and we will most likely see him with some minutes sometime this evening. I will double check to make sure that is fact for everyone, and that is not going to be just an assumption there. Looking at the bench, it doesn't look like that Castello Luqueba is named on the bench here this evening, so we will not be seeing Luqueba at all. RB Leipzig just controlling the ball a little bit here, down on the left-hand side between David Raum and Chadel Bishebu. Back to his keeper in Martin van der Voort, who's already made some beautiful saves. Excuse me. Rushing out from goal and also making some decent saves. Don't like this build-up play. It's a little bit unorganised as Seshko knocks the ball out for a throw-in, although it does look like it's going back to RB Leipzig, so it would have gone off the last touch defender for Sporting. As Marco Rosa is screaming at the players, saying to push forward and to go, which is good to see some English from the Leipzig native as well. For those that are wondering, I do actually have sound on the fixture that I'm watching, the live stream here, the watch-along of the RB Leipzig versus Sporting CP. However, I've managed to use some software to mute the actual commentary. As David Raum has the ball, crosses it to the back post. It's gone past Gertruda's head. Haidara goes for a kick and puts it into the top stands. Absolutely gone wide and high there in the Red Bull Arena. That's a nice one, souvenir for the fans over there. Would rather him get those mistakes out early, because Haidara is known for being able to shoot and score goals from distance. We retain the ball again. Xavi goes for a shot, bounced a few times, which is always difficult, but easily saved by the Sporting keeper, easily behind it there. No problems whatsoever. Xavi didn't look like he got much on that ball. Not bad having a shot from that distance, as the Sporting goalkeeper's kick is long and goes all the way back into the goal area. The penalty area of the RB Leipzig goal. And Orban passes to Bishebu, and we start the build-up play again. For those of you that are just joining in, welcome to the live stream UEFA Champions League Matchday 7 watch-along between RB Leipzig and Sporting CP. I'm your host this evening, Justin Crozer, commentating through this watch-along. See, even I am human. And the big news is that Benjamin Sesko opens the scoring for RBL with an assist from David Raum. As RB Leipzig go forward again, this time on the right-hand side, cross in by Openda to David Raum. David Raum should shoot. He's not shooting. He runs into some Sporting players and he passes back to Bishebu. That's closer down there on the left, who does make a nice run forward as well. Would like to see him get back into his position though. It looks like Haidara has covered him though. Back to captain with the Orban, and we try to go forward again. Seibold has the ball. Seibold to Sesko. Sesko tries to go to Openda, but it's blocked. And it looks like that Sporting will have a quick fast break here. And he's very quick, but Bishebu does very well. Hopefully he can keep that in. But it does come off the Sporting player, and it's going to be a throw-in for RBL down the left-hand side for RB Leipzig. So, my apologies if you're just joining in. My name is Justin Crozer. I am the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the original RB Leipzig podcast in English, streaming to this evening, this match day 7 or round 7, watch along of the UEFA Champions League between RB Leipzig and Sporting CP. RB Leipzig are currently 1-0 up at home this evening. And welcome to the stream. Make sure that you comment along wherever you are watching this, whether you're watching this on YouTube, on Twitch, over on X, over on Instagram. I haven't forgotten about you people over there on Instagram. Don't get it up here on the streaming software, but I check periodically to see how you guys are going. No comments as of this stage over there, but welcome to the 15 viewers over there. As 26 minutes have played, almost 27, and it looks like Sporting are going to start making their first change, which is quite interesting because it's very early on. RB Leipzig have won the ball back in the middle of the pitch with Haidara. Xavi gets the ball, shoots into the Sporting defender, back to Haidara, passes to Raum down the left-hand side. We'll wait for him to beat a man and try to cross around him. He does exactly that, but goes straight into the hands of the Sporting keeper. For those of you that are just joining in, what do you think the the scoreline will be this evening? Let me know wherever you are watching this. We're just going to be waiting on for the first substitute of this evening, with Sporting CP going to be making it very early on, coming into the 28th minute. RB Leipzig are tracking back quite nicely as well, and they're preventing passing lanes. There has been some fast breaks from Sporting, if you're just joining in and coming into the live stream, although there hasn't been nothing of major significance that RB Leipzig haven't been able to deal with. And Martin van der Voort starts in goal. There's a big space over here on the left-hand side. Beautiful slide-in tackle here from Christoph Baumgartner. Nothing but ball, and it goes out for a corner kick in the box. Has to absolutely get that spot on, otherwise that's a penalty. Slides in, gets nothing but ball, and that is a brilliant challenge, especially considering he did a couple of fouls earlier in the match. We've been pretty poor from defending corners as of late. So Saint Justi makes way, and Consalco Iniaco, or Inakaya. I'm going to really have trouble with saying some of these Portuguese names. And if there's any sporting fans, please make sure to try to correct my pronunciation and let me know how to pronounce them if you're watching this stream. That cross was easily dealt with by RB Leipzig. Another pass into the box, and it looks like Peshebu gets the last header on that, and it's gone out for another corner, but down on the right-hand side. Yeah, Julian, I am the biggest RB Leipzig podcast in English, and I always do live streams, do them once a month, I should say. I will always try to do one watch along once a month, depending on my work schedule, as I personally work around about 60 hours a week, at least on average, sometimes more, very rarely less, which is a 12-hour day, about 5 days a week. And occasionally I'll get some days off, and then I go through everything on the podcast in my time that I get and get it out in a timely fashion for everyone. Don't miss a game. I always do reviews beforehand, before the next fixtures. RBL Talk fans, they get RBL Talk members get the episodes a little bit earlier, usually up to a day early, depending on the fixture. Otherwise, it's at least between 12 hours and 24 hours early, depending on when that is. They also get a few other benefits as well. They get all the episodes ad-free. They get access to the private RB fans Discord server section. They get a few other things. But this isn't really a plug for the RBL Talk members, but a big thank you to all those members that do help with the show as well, and me forever being able to evolve the show and make sure it's a better content for every single viewer, whether you're a free member or person who listens to it for free or watches it for free, or if you are a paying member. Your support is always much appreciated. Even just you guys watching these live streams as well, as RB Leipzig take the ball forward. Baumgartner with a beautiful cross. Does it get to Raum? It does. He takes a shot, and it's a goal. Fantastic. Makes it 2-0. What a absolute shot from David Raum. David Raum with 1 goal and assist. He assisted Benjamin Sesko in our first, and that is a very, very good shot right through 2 Sporting players, out of reach of the keeper. Julian, I am from Australia, so me currently doing this live stream. It's 4:48 a.m. my local time, and I wouldn't do this. Wouldn't do this if I didn't love doing it. That's for sure, because I've said in the podcast trailer, I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to profit on anyone. I'm here to be the biggest and global place for all RB Leipzig fans around the world. One place you can go to find the latest news, to talk with other RB fans, and so much more as well. And the podcast has been forever evolving ever since I started it back in around about January 2022. There is a VAR goal check, which can't stand VAR goal checks. They annoy me sometimes. I didn't see any big issues with that, though. And just as there was a post from X going off there for some reason. As the goal stands, which it should have stood anyway, I didn't see any major issues with it. There was well, hold on a minute. The official is going to go forward and have a look here at the screen. I don't know what for. Oh, really? Openda was not. He was onside. It doesn't interfere. Now, Openda was very close to being offside, but he doesn't interfere with the player. And I think this goal's going to come back from it. What it looks like is Openda was offside when the ball was played, and then he puts his arm across the player here. So I believe this goal's going to come back. Yep, and that's exactly what's correct. The goal review, we are back to 1-0. And we will put that back to what we originally had it as. Very disappointing there. It could have been very good for a RBL perspective, but still early on this evening, going into the 35th minute. And I will say this, Julian, please don't talk with your wallet if we decide to lose, as let's just say that's not something that I would be doing right now, and I don't have major confidence with us. So, and that's coming from someone that is reviewing these games on a weekly basis as well, and just how the team has been performing over in the European top competition. Welcome, James Bond. Maybe 007 has come into the stream. They said, are you selling Sesko to Arsenal? The question for that simply is a no. So unless they're smashing out $100 million or something like that, €100 million or something, I honestly don't see them selling Benjamin Sesko. He's too important to the team, and everyone has been saying that he's not going to be going anywhere as it is. But, football is one of those things where you can say that it's not going to happen or anything like that, and then come deadline day, something happens. So as of this stage, unless something drastically happens, Benjamin Sesko isn't moving anywhere and is staying put, as David Raum fouls the Sporting player down on the left-hand side there, which is a little bit of a let-off for Sporting, as RBL was going to come back with the ball. RBL has been the best team so far this half, with more possession, 53-47, 6 total shots compared to, I believe it's 3 for Sporting. And we just need to keep going on the front foot and not going back, and making sure that we do put this game to bed. As Bishebu, who gets his start at centre-back next to Willie Orban, has the ball, passes to Haidara, and then passes to Xavi in the middle of the pitch. Baumgartner has a very heavy touch as he decides to run into the Sporting player, but Bishebu with a beautiful interception, and we are back again going forward, although the final pass was a little bit to be desired. Yes, Gillian, they certainly don't favour, and they've good right to do so, but I'm not one of those blokes that do a lot of that myself personally, but I will say that you never take something on when it's supposed to be like worse for you. For those of you just joining into the live stream watch along now, my name is Justin Crozer. I am the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the RBL Leipzig podcast in English. This is your Matchday 7 watch along of RB Leipzig versus Sporting CP in the UEFA Champions League. If you are just joining in, welcome. To those that have stuck from the beginning, thank you for that as well. Let me know what your score predictions are, what you've liked so far of the game, as Lewis Openda is streaming down the left-hand side. Pass it to Raum, but he doesn't. He passes inboard to Xavi. Xavi's pass has been lackluster. He gets the ball back, though, with an interception. And unfortunately, looks like Haidara gets the ball away there. Trincao is going forward. And there was a nice shot, but straight over the crossbar, as it looks like there was a deflection from RB Leipzig. Very, very lucky from Harder to not score there, but it was Willie Orban again in the way, being a menace for Sporting. Willie Orban has been the best player for me so far on the pitch, and that's not me because of my bias, as he's my favourite player. He's put in some great last attempt tackles, sliding in as well, got nothing but ball, and made some great interceptions. Cross comes in down from the right-hand side, as David Raum's getting a bit of a spoken to warning from the official. Ball comes in now, near post, easily dealt with by Xavi, although it almost looked like he was going to kick the ball in his own net. take two from the same spot. This time goes short. So, yes, Trolley is talking about the offside from Lewis Openda. So I hate disagreeing with people because I don't know everything. That's for sure. I know a whole lot, but I don't know everything. But it was offside. The simple fact is that when the ball was played, Lewis Openda was offside only by a fraction. And the issue of that was when the ball was played, did he interfere with the Sporting player? And when he runs across, he clearly puts his arm across the Sporting player and therefore prevents him a little bit from getting to David Raum, the eventual goal scorer, quickly enough. Even though it didn't affect him so much, it still affected him, and that's the reason why that VAR decided to stop that goal and take that back. So there's no issue with VAR there. For me, it was definitely interference from, Lewis Openda, and therefore I just copped that on the chin as we have David Raum getting a harsh talking to here at the moment from the official. No booking though. And there's going to be a free kick in a dangerous position for Sporting. Excuse me. Coming into the 41st minute now. Free kick comes in. And it's out for a goal kick. Cross everyone and past the back post. Van der Voort not needing to make a save. Orban just telling Van der Voort just to take some time off the clock. In fact, Orban's going to take it to his goalkeeper. And they go from left to right. Yes, you did, Trolley. That is correct. You did predict that the opening goal was going to be from Benjamin Sesko. If I go up the top with all the chats, it might still be even there on the right-hand side of your screens. It was a few minutes ago now. Let's have a look. No, I don't think it's there. 35 minutes, there we go. I think Sesko will score the first goal today. That was 35 minutes ago. It doesn't say actually the time on the stream here. It does in my chat box though. So well done there to Trolley, who predicted that Benjamin Sesko would score the first goal. RB Leipzig are just sitting back off Sporting at the moment as they're trying to get it out of their defensive half. With a lot of players going forward. Long ball through, past the RBL defence. Cross in, across goal, shoot, and a beautiful block there by, looks to be David Raum. And it's gone out for a corner kick. Down on the right-hand side. Defending and interceptions has been on point so far this evening for RB Leipzig. Something that we have actually worked on this season. That being said, we've given it away with our indiscipline. Very struggling to get the ball out there as Seiwald does a clearance towards the gaffer, Marco Rosa, as he informs all his players to track back instead of sitting deep. And all the players are just up towards the goal line here, with the strikers doing their part for pressing. Although Sesko isn't pressing the greatest, and it's easily passed away. Openda is also working a little bit hard, and now the gap is on. And Trincao will probably receive this ball back again as he does, and David Raum is sweating him, following him like a bad smell. And he's unable to do anything with it, and makes Sporting track back towards the edge of the circle just inside the RB Leipzig attacking half. Sorry, defensive half. Sporting just need to shoot here, which they do. It goes straight into Bishebu. And I think there is some calls for handball here. Didn't look like any issues from my end, even though it happened very quickly. And it's play on. Cross to the back post. Easily saved from Martin van der Voort. Liked what I've seen from Martin van der Voort this evening, as well as Bishebu cleared that ball away from his head, which is some effort after having the ball smashed into his face. So he's probably going to feel that one for a few weeks. We're playing great, focused everywhere. Do you agree, is what Trolley says. First of all, I would like to ask that question to all viewers watching. Comment along wherever you are watching this stream, whether you're watching this on Instagram, X, YouTube, or Twitch. Over on Instagram, we have 28 viewers and no comments though, so please make sure that you do comment along so I can see them and I can interact with you live in this live stream. And yes, Trolley, I do agree that we have been great everywhere. I wouldn't say focused, but I would say that we've been great. We haven't been poor too badly. There's been a couple of heavy touches here or there, a couple of little mistakes, but nothing that's led to an error that has made Sporting make us pay and being able to get them a shot or a goal or anything like that. And yes, absolutely, Van der Voort does deserve more time. I've said that for weeks now, and it's finally good that Marco Rosa must be listening to the podcast, as I did say in my what I would like to see in this match, that the big one was Martin van der Voort's start. Excuse me. As we come into the first 2 minutes of added time. And we've only got a minute to play. I'll be taking some comments through the halftime break as well. And we'll go through a couple of stats. We'll go see what some of the top players for RBL are doing, and we'll go see what a couple of the top players for Sporting are doing as well. Excuse me. Trincao has the ball, gets through 3 RBL players, crosses the ball back, but unfortunately, Lee Orban is in the way. And a shot takes many deflections from RBL, goes over the crossbar, over Martin van der Voort's head, and it's now gone out for a corner kick. It does look like this will be the last play as well for this evening. For the half, I should say. Cross comes in down from the right, near post, headed away from their own player. Might have even been Xavi that just got the head onto that. And Xavi and Baumgartner run onto it, and it goes out for a throw-in. And that is it for the half. So the big key here is RBL 1, Sporting 0. Benjamin Sesko opens the scoring for RB with David Raum with the assist. One goal also disallowed for offside, as it was deemed by VAR, and myself I could see it as well, that Lewis Openda was offside when the ball was played and stopped Sporting defender getting close to David Raum, who eventually scored the goal and therefore interfered in play. If you are... Excuse me. If you are watching this, please make sure that you comment and like this live stream as well and share it around wherever you are watching this to make sure that we get more eyeballs onto this and we all can congregate and talk together. I've been your host so far, Justin Crozer, the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the original and biggest RB Leipzig podcast in English, bringing you this Matchday 7 watch-along of the UEFA Champions League of RB Leipzig and Sporting. Let me know who you think is the best player so far for RB Leipzig and also what you'd like to see in the half. And welcome to the stream, Ballum. What time is it for you in Australia today? Right now it's 5:05 a.m. my time, Adelaide Central Time. The stream started at 4:05 a.m. my time, and for Ballum, for you that's just joining in, I am drinking Red Bull cans. So there we go. Live streams are now going to have Red Bull cans just because, well, people don't like Red Bull, they don't like the cans. Who cares? Anyway, as we are saying, the best. Thank you very much. Yeah, absolutely, Julian. I am definitely a true fan. I don't do this for money. I don't care about funds or anything like that. That's no knock on all the RBL Talk members. I do appreciate every single one of you, just like I appreciate every single viewer this evening and every single listener, even if they're a free listener of the RBL Talk podcast. This podcast is always for all of you. This podcast will never be for me for a financial gain. I do this in my spare time, work 60 hours plus a week, and I do this for every single one of you guys and girls or anything, and that's how it is. That's how it's always going to be. And yep, so Trolley says David Raum was the best player so far in this half. He also said something else as well, which is very interesting. It's very well known though, but then in the next game or half, everything will change. I don't know why Marco Rosa can't keep this team stable and consistent. Yes, so this has been something that's happened over the past, I would say, couple of seasons, especially since his tenure. He doesn't really seem to have a plan B, and he doesn't really seem to do anything else but and I touched on base with this with Johannes Martin, a local RB Leipzig content creator, local fan in Leipzig who speaks English as well. So if you haven't watched that interview, make sure to watch that over on YouTube or listen to the latest podcast episode as well, as his interview is in the RBL Talk segment, where some fans, including yourself, Trolley, I do believe, featured with the listener questions in that segment as well. And it does seem that he doesn't really know what is happening at the moment, Marco Rosa. He knows what he's doing, but he doesn't really have a plan B. The attacking plan is basically pass it to Xavi Simons, see what he can do with it, and then pass it to David Raum on the left for crossing in. And other than that, that's pretty much all we seem to have. And occasionally the old long ball long as well. There you go. Time in Scotland is 6:35. I would take it that's 6:35 p.m. I don't see that being 6:35 a.m. in front of time from me. And where is it? Yes, Ballum, someone did ask if I was drinking Red Bull. And yep, they're so bad for you, bro, Red Bull. Yeah, I know. Any sort of energy drink or anything like that, alcohol even as well, it's not good for you. But, drink in moderation. That's the only reason why. And I'm only going to drink 2 cans, as it says on the back of the cans. Your limit is supposed to be 2 per day. I barely drink them, so, once a month when I do these live streams, at the very least, or whenever I do these live streams, which is minimum once a month. Sometimes I might do a couple, depending on my work schedule. So I work this evening after this game finishes around about 12 hours or so. And then I'll be working the week later. I think we've got another fixture coming up. Always make sure to check the YouTube when the latest live stream watch along is. I'll normally release that as soon as I'm aware of it. Going back to some more comments as well. Ballum says, thank you for showing me your Red Bull. Yeah, no worries, Ballum. Anytime. Benjamin Sesko isn't going to Arsenal this month. No chance, my opinion, not of RBL Talk. Yep, so Ballum, I said earlier on in the stream, which I don't know if you heard of it or if you were in yet, but I did say that Benjamin Sesko isn't going anywhere, but football is one of those weird things where, the whole club could say he's not going anywhere, and he could say he's happy there and he's not going anywhere. Then all of a sudden he gets moved on transfer deadline day in the last couple of hours or something. So that is a possibility, but everyone from the club has said that it's not on the cards. He's not going anywhere. I do believe that he won't be going anywhere. And yeah, look, yes, Gillian, alcohol is bad technically alcohol is a poison. Myself, I'm straight edge, so I don't actually drink or anything like that. But if people want to drink and stuff like that, there's no knock on them. But actually, what it does to the body is it basically creates poison, and then you have to, your body filters it out. That's how the whole idea of how alcohol works. And obviously in moderation, and if you're of legal age, then, there's no problem with that. And yeah, Ballum, some people do drink Red Bull energy drink who are young. I personally think that there's no legal age or anything like that of it, but I do believe that, you can't be like, 10 or something or drink it. I mean, I don't really know of an age, but you shouldn't be under, a certain age, that's for sure. I certainly wouldn't be giving it to a toddler or anything like that, that's for certain. I do think they actually say on the back of the cans as well, like how old or something you're supposed to be. But anyway. Let's have a look at some more comments. Let's have a look over at Instagram. No comments over there, but welcome to 29 viewers over there. Going back here of the live stream watch along in the comments, you can see there's a lot of comments going through here as well. Yep, absolutely, Trolley. If he does leave, and that's Benjamin Sesko, we would be in a real pickle. That is definitely for certain. Yeah, McDonald's is also bad for you. That's just terrible. And I mean, that's just fast food in general. Obviously, there goes any promotions or anything like that for any fast food joints that ever want to work with the podcast. So, but, like I said earlier, I'm not in it for money, and it never will be. This podcast is for every single listener, including all the RBL Talk members over on Patreon. If you want to join those people, go over to patreon.com/RBL Talk. Now, I'm going to go through some players here. Everyone, you can keep chatting through the chat. I'll get back to you all over there. As for some reason, I don't know why that's decided to go away again. We'll put that back up. And we're having a look at some of the players this evening. David Raum has been one of the best players, if not the best player for RB Leipzig this evening, with 9 out of 10 accurate passes at 90%, created one chance, already with an assist. Excuse me, with 24 touches, 2 touches in the Sporting box. Only 2 of 4 accurate crosses at 50%. He's attempted a long ball, but he did not get that attempted correctly. So it's not accurate. He's made 1 attempt, 0. He's only made 1 challenge at 100%, which is decent as well. He's had a block, 2 clearances. 1 was a headed clearance. And he's been dribbled past twice, though, which is never a good thing. And has committed 3 fouls on the pitch. Benjamin Sesko, the goal scorer, he has had 2 total shots and he's scored the 1 goal. He's also created a chance and he's had 10 of 15 accurate passes at 67%. So accuracy was 1 out of 2, 50%, as one of his shots was wide. 23 touches, 2 in the Sporting box, 1 pass into the final third, has been dispossessed once, 2 clearances, 1 by a header, and he has also won 3 of 4 duels at 75%, and he's won both his aerial duels at 100%. Also going to have a look at young Bishapu as well, who I think has been quite well this evening. The young 19-year-old did make an error early on. However, he's done well to rectify that not long after. He's had 44 touches, 34 accurate passes out of 41 at 83%. He's had 3 passes into the final third. He's had 1 of 4 accurate long balls at 25%. 1 block, 1 clearance by the header. He's had 4 recoveries, only been dribbled past once. He's only lost 1 duel, 1 or other duels. Going over to player watch player, Trincao over at Sporting. He has had 28 touches. He's had 3 touches in the opponent's box, 1 successful dribble at 100%, 2 passes into the final third. He's created 1 chance. He's had 16 out of 20 passes completed at 80%. He's won 2 of 3 duels at 67%. He's also had 1 interception. And apologies also has been fouled once. Going back to the comments over on all the socials, no comments still over on Instagram, possibly some errors over there. Maybe you're not able to comment, unsure. If you do want to get involved on this stream, if you're watching on Instagram, just go jump over to either YouTube, Twitch, or over on X if you would like to comment along. That way it pops up. Otherwise, hello to all 29 over there. And also, welcome to everyone else that is just trickling into the live stream watch along now. I am your host, Justin Crozer of the RBL Talk podcast, the biggest RB Leipzig podcast in English, your number one destination to go for all things RB Leipzig. Having a look at the comments over here, plenty of conversations in this live chat today on YouTube. Yeah, absolutely, Bellum. And also, welcome to yourself, who is a regular mainstay of the podcast as well. Good to see everyone over there chatting along. And good to see that. Yes, now I'm going to butcher this name again, so I do apologize to Sam and Richard if you're watching from the All Things Alvalade podcast. I think I said Jairo Queiroz or something like that. I'm going to stick with that. But yes, he will play. He's on the bench. I am expecting him to actually come on at half-time and to make an impact as well. So the top goal scorer for Sporting will be making an appearance this evening. Also going through the chats as well. Yep, no worries there, Julian. Just waiting for the players now to come on to the pitch. Let me know what you think is the best player so far for RB Leipzig. Looks like Antonio Nusa is warming up. He will make an appearance at some stage as well. Would be interested to see Yusuf Poulsen as well. He's coming back from a lengthy break from an injury. Also, I'd like to thank everyone over on X who has liked the post and shared it as well. Thank you very much over there. Your support, wherever you are watching this, has been much appreciated, as the officials are just standing in the tunnel waiting for the players. Just waiting for the players to come out now over in Leipzig. Don't know what the weather is there. I suppose we can ask Siri. What's the weather in Leipzig this evening?
It's currently partly cloudy and 2 degrees in Leipzig, Germany.
Don't know if you could hear that, but it does say -2 degrees and not 2 degrees. But I don't know if that's correct. However, it is a cold, cold night over there in East Germany as the RBL lads walk out onto the pitch, led by their courageous captain, of course, Willy Orban. And yeah, Orban will pocket him. And by that, Trolley means that Orban is going to be wearing Jairo Queiroz like a glove. So I do expect him to score. I do think that Orban will make it very difficult. It doesn't say that it's going to rain there, Trolley, or at least not this evening. So very cold, but no rain as of yet in the forecast during this fixture. For those of you just joining in, my name is Justin Crozer. I am the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the one-stop shop for all things RB Leipzig in English. You can look at the RBL Talk website to find the podcast on all podcast platforms, find us all across social media, and also find the latest news as well on RB Leipzig. And might I add on to that, all from credible sources as well. No affiliation, but I do put credible sources on there, and all credit is given to those reporters. As the second half kicks off, we're going to go into our second Red Bull. Go RBL. Sorry, let's change that. And we're underway. Back again with Sporting kicking off in the second half. Doesn't look like there's been any changes straight away. Let's just double check this. And to double check, as Sporting go forward with the ball, and there has been no changes from either side at the break, although Sporting have already made their change from Jerry St. Justy going off for Concalo Inakai. Oh, I'm really going to have to work on my Portuguese pronunciation. I'm glad I don't do the Portuguese pronunciations every week in the Bundesliga. If you're just joining into the live stream, this is the RBL Talk Watch Along. I am your host, Justin Crozer. This is the watch along of Matchday 7 in the UEFA Champions League between RB Leipzig and Sporting CP, where RB Leipzig are 1-0 up, with Benjamin Sesko opening the scoring for RB, with David Raum having the assist. As Sporting here throw the ball in, just where the managers are in coming into the 47th minute. I do apologise. It looks like David Raum will be doing the throw-in. And it's just in our attacking half. And he throws it straight to Sporting. Very, very poor throw-in. Although Xavi does manage to get the ball back. Ping-pong ball goes around and it is intercepted by Sporting. Although Baumgartner gets the ball, it looks to be Openda falling over off balance, maybe a bit dewy on the floor, on the pitch, maybe not wearing the correct studs. And Gertruda does a cross down the right-hand side, doesn't get into the box and goes out for a throw-in, possibly a corner, as I'm a bit more interested at the moment of the Sporting defender on the floor. Let's see, have a look if there's going to be... No, it's just been kicked into him, probably just winded. Doesn't look like he'll come off or anything like that. And it looks like it's going to be a corner kick on the right-hand side. No, apologies, throw in from Gertruda. Looked like they were setting up for a corner. And RB just get the ball back and slowly switch sides from right to left. Nice ball in there. Shoot, Xavi, shoot! Shoot, Xavi! Wow. Absolutely disgusting play. Very poor, Xavi. Very poor. Wins the ball, beats a player. Keeper is absolutely in no man's land. Makes the save. Gets the ball from Openda's feet. All Xavi had to do is kick it there. If you're watching, as soon as he makes the touch, 1 touch, 2 touch, then he should shoot. Instead, he takes an extra touch and goes straight over the crossbar. Absolutely poor football from Xavi Simons. Absolutely poor football. And he knows it too. And Trolley even says, WTF. Like that. Yep, that's pretty much sums it up. Wasn't there a penalty? No, there wasn't. The keeper slid in and got nothing but ball, even though it did take Openda's legs a little bit. He got all the ball, so no, definitely no penalty there. Sesko tries to win the ball back and gives a foul away in an attacking area and relieves the pressure on Sporting. This might look to be the downfall of RB Leipzig this evening. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by moan there, Julian, but I do agree that RB will only get so many chances, and we're going to have ourselves to blame. We've had at least 2 good chances that one was disallowed from VAR and one was a very, very poor attempt from Xavi Simons. Took 1 extra touch and blew it straight over the crossbar. Trolley, you said, yeah, right. I don't know if you disagree with me or if you were agreeing with me. But yeah, you are allowed to, as long as you get the ball, it's the same thing as Willie Orban earlier on this evening. He did some sliding challenges from behind, but even though he got caught the legs a little bit of the Sporting player, he got nothing but balls. So, and it wasn't dangerous in any sense of the word. It looks like a Pender's going to shoot. Ball's going around like a ping pong ball at the moment. Sesko with the ball. Xavi kicks into players. Haidara shot. Oh wow! And it's just gone past the goal there. I don't know what's happening with. Might have been an offside attempt here, or maybe a foul down on the right-hand side of the box. But that was a very good shot from Haidara just to hit the inside of the post and not go in. Trolley says, I really hope we don't concede after this. Well, it is a RB Leipzig away, isn't it? For those that haven't listened to the latest podcast episode with my two guests, one is local RB Leipzig fan who does content creation in German, but he speaks in English in this podcast episode, Johannes Martin. He is quite good over there. And then the biggest English podcast of Sporting CP, all things Alvalade. I had Sam and Richard come onto the show as well. During that episode, I did say that there is something called, for those that know in England, Tottenham Hotspur, they are known as like That's So Spursy, when they do things that only Spurs can do, like lose winnable games or just blunder certain things. I said we should adopt something similar and just start saying that's just RB. So, and by that I mean, well, that's just how we are, which is pretty bad if you got to say that as well. But that's how we've been over the past several seasons under Marco Rosa. Oh, there you go. Moan is Scottish for come on, lol. Support. There you go. I've never known that, Gillian. Thank you for the insight there on Scottish, I would say, pronunciation or slang terminology. And I see what you mean there. I thought it was a penalty because I was confused there, Trolley. Yep, that's fine. No worries. Hopefully I've cleared that up for you. If you have any other questions, or if anyone has any questions during this live stream, just make sure that you comment along wherever you are watching this live stream and ask your comment away. As Benjamin Sesko goes running forward, and unsure why that doesn't stay up after I highlight a comment. I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. And it's now gone back to our defensive half with Bishebu and Haidara and Xavi just all passing the ball around themselves. There you go, Julian. Big Ange should have stayed with us. Well, I don't think he's going to win much at Tottenham. That club is unfortunately a little bit cursed. Or they also did say that it was the Harry Kane curse as well. And so far that seems to be true. Although they've still got the whole Rook Ronda basically to go through for Bayern to be able to try to win something. But Julian, if you're a Celtic fan, as you quite stated earlier on, I had two guests of Celtic earlier in the season in the Champions League. I had 20-Minute Tims and Homeboys on as well. And another Australian podcaster and YouTube channel, Jared from Celtic Down Under as well. That was a reaction show straight after the game. Basically, we did a live stream watch along there, took listener questions from a lot of people. So those things will be coming eventually as well when I've got time. I don't mind doing those as well. We have 3 changes here from Sporting. Players coming off is Katamo, Harder, and Debast. And Valquerez, or Guy Corez, I should say, is coming on. My apologies there. Morita is also coming on. And the last player is Daniel Braganza. Hopefully I've said those ones correct. Trolley isn't very confident. He thinks we will bottle this one hard. Hopefully you're wrong, but look, anything's possible, isn't it, when it comes to watching RB Leipzig? And as of late, the live streams haven't been going too well. The very first one I did against Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga, we lost that one. Although I did the live stream watch along against Bayer Leverkusen when we beat them and were the first team to beat them domestically in over 400 days, I do believe it was. So yeah, there's always that. Let's see how we go though. We'll check over on the Instagram folk over there. Stream is still going. Sometimes it cancels itself out after an hour, but welcome to the live stream over there, to 33 viewers over there now on Instagram. If you would like to get involved with the live stream, no matter where you're watching this, make sure that you comment along and I'll interact with you live. Had some great comments as the striker, the number one striker for Sporting, takes a header and it's easily gobbled up by Van der Voort. But the big news here is Willie Orban's on the floor and he's fouled him. Orban is a little bit of discomfort, but is a very tough customer. I don't think he's going to be out or anything. He's just a little bit sore. I think it was just the body weight of Guy Corres. I'm going to probably say that for the rest of the game incorrectly. But only just fell down on him, so a little bit sore, but he'll probably walk that off. Doesn't seem to be any structural damage. He's walking on it fine now. Very tough customer there, Willie Orban. No-nonsense defender as well. As someone's let off some pyrotechnics and it's going across the ground. Hopefully that's not an RB Leipzig fan or anything like that, as I'm pretty sure the club has banned it, unfortunately. They've now banned pyrotechnics in the stadium, as Marco Rosa is absolutely losing his mind on the touchline to the RBL players, trying to get on his message. We'll have a look at some listener questions very shortly, as some are still popping through. It's been great chat so far this evening from Julian, Trolley, Ballum, and other people as well. If you're watching this over on X, you can also comment on this as well, and you'll still be able to watch this as well. Comment here from Trolley. So what do you think? Do you think Timo Werner will return and stay next season? Well, look, I'm hoping he does. I do like Timo Werner, but we haven't seen the best of him for quite some time now. So if he can bring back that old form of his, yeah, absolutely. Although he's still going to be behind both Benjamin Sesko and Lewis Openda, but it would be good to have that third rotation option, as a shot has been taken wide from Sporting and Martin van der Voort doesn't need to do anything there. Watches it go past the goal to his right. It would be good to have that extra third striker, as Andre Silva has been poor since his acquisition, essentially. He's done a couple of good things, but hasn't really done the output of you'd expect from a striker. And Yusuf Poulsen is unfortunately a little bit past it in a sense, but he doesn't really play that major goal scorer for us anymore. He's more of that hold-up player, that hold-up forward that can link play very well from, towards the attacking areas of the pitch, near the attacking midfield into the forward line as well, up front. So his role has slightly changed, and he's still got that ability to score goals and pop up when needed. He just played a little bit poorly in our last fixture after he came on, missing a couple of attempts. And there you go. Trolley thinks that Timo Werner will gain his confidence back once he returns. So just remember, for those people that are unaware, most people would be who are RBL fans, that Timo Werner is actually the top goal scorer for RB Leipzig. Sporting have the ball. RB Leipzig clear it away quite comfortably with Amadou Haidara, as Lewis Openda gets fouled, and it's going to be a free kick for RBL, just close to the centre circle line, still in our defensive half. Trolley also thinks that Sesko will leave in the summer. So having Timo Werner back will be important for us. Hopefully you're wrong there, but I do is probably the wrong word here. I can see him leaving, maybe not in the summer, but I can see him leaving eventually for greener pastures, so to speak, as most players, and unfortunately the way the team is built at the moment, we're unable to keep our top talent, and it is going to be very tough to keep his services for the long term, as he is easily a top striker that can go play in La Liga or the Premier League or any other top league in Europe. If you're just joining in, my name is Justin Crozer. I am the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the number one podcast of RB Leipzig in English. You can go to rbltalk.com and find absolutely everything on RB Leipzig, including news, latest podcast episodes, and everything like that. As Xavi Simons, Lewis Openda, and David Raum make way for some changes of RB Leipzig, it's actually good to see Xavi Simons off the pitch as he was making a few blunders. The players that are coming on is Antonio Nusa, Yusuf Poulsen, the record appearance holder for RB Leipzig, and Lucas Klostermann. We'll probably move now to a back three by the looks of things, with David Raum coming off, as I don't see... Or we could still play with the back four, actually. I think that instead Bishebu will go to left back, Gertruda will go back into centre back, which is his natural position, and Klostermann will take the right back position, or it might just be the simple swap of Bishebu and Klostermann. Klostermann can also play centre back, as Willy Orban is down on the floor again. Excuse me. No problems there for Orban. He's just in the wars this evening, getting some knocks back up though, and he's just takes the ball now, passes to Lucas Klostermann, who's also not a record appearance holder, but has been around the club for a very long time as well. Martin van der Voort has the ball, kicks the ball forward just past the halfway line to Yusuf Poulsen, but Yusuf Poulsen has fouled the Sporting player, much to his displeasement and a little bit confusion as well. And looking back at the replay, he's just done a little tunnelling foul where he's just put the elbow into the back and then just pushed him under the ball. So, yeah, very soft, but still definitely a foul. Coming into the 63rd minute here, RB Leipzig still only the one goal up anyone's game, but RBL are looking in the box seat to be able to get some points in this Champions League. Klostermann gets some of his first touches on the ball, very deep in the RBL defence. We pass from right to left. Now, with Bishebu has made the move to left back, it is a simple swap of Lucas Klostermann and Bishebu. Bishebu moves to left back and Klostermann goes in at centre back next to Willy Orban. Personally, I would have liked to have seen Gertruda in his default position at centre-back and have Klostermann at right-back, although Klosti is a better right-back and more solid than he is, at centre-back than he is at right-back. Bishebu has a nice pass, but it has gone to Sporting and they have an attack. And a foul here by, looks to be Baumgartner on Hillman. May have said that incorrectly. But it is a very, very good position here for Sporting with a decent set-piece specialist, especially from a dead ball position. I'm going to call it here. If Martin van der Voort doesn't make a save, this is going to be a goal. Because Sporting are quite good at dead ball situations. This is all going to be on if that ball goes over the wall with Trincao. If he takes it, it's going to be a goal. Van der Voort needs to make the save. And here comes the play. Looks like Trincao steps away, but it goes into the wall. And then another shot from Sporting into RBL defence. Thankfully, I was wrong, although it does look like the equaliser is coming shortly from Sporting, as they've now down the left-hand side. Nice cross to the far side on the left, but Bishebu makes that an easy clearance. Nusa gives the ball away from some poor dribbling. And now Sporting have the ball again. Going back to some questions now. If you would like to get involved with this live stream or watch along, make sure that you comment along wherever you are watching this live stream. If you've just joined in, I'm your host this evening for this Matchday 7 watch along of the UEFA Champions League between RB Leipzig and Sporting CP. Trolley says, do you think we can win the DFB Pokal? Absolutely. I think that if Marco Rosa wants to definitely be at RB Leipzig next season, he needs a minimum top 4 finish and he needs to bank that trophy. It's always nice to get the trophy. I don't expect it, as we're not Bayern fans. But if he really wants to push his case, I just think that minimum top 4 isn't good enough for how our season should have been portrayed, with the quality of the squad and the way we started the season as well. So I do think he needs that trophy just to cement his spot again for another season. Julian thinks that RB will hold on, so I do think we might hold on to a draw, but anything is possible, as we're coming into the 67th minute now of the match in the second half. Currently, Van der Voort has the ball in goal after making a save from a easy shot from Sporting. Puts the ball down and kicks it very far. And it's passed into the defensive third for Sporting, the RB Leipzig attacking third, with Yusuf Poulsen on the ball down on the left-hand side. Passes inboard to Nusa, who again loses the ball. Nusa has been very poor since coming on the pitch. Just for the few minutes he's been on, really needs to get his act together and get the motion of play going, as Sporting get the ball away down on the left-hand side. Excuse me, easy clearance from Klosterman. There you go. Trolley thinks that RBL need 6 honour points in the European Champions League DFB Pokal top 3 finish for Rose to stay. Yeah, look, if I remember correctly, we're playing Wolfsburg again in the quarterfinals in the Champions League. As long as we get into the semi-finals or the final, I think that's good enough. But if he really wants to cement himself as a manager for next season with no doubts, I do think he does need to win that DFB Pokal, and he also needs to get that top 4 finish for the UEFA Champions League. So it really depends on how harsh and what the standards are of the Red Bull board are going to be, and also how much Jurgen Klopp and his friendship with Marco Rosa is going to play a big part on keeping Marco Rosa there as his tenure. As Kevin Campbell Kevin Campbell comes onto the pitch and Amadou Haidara makes way, who's played quite well, as Trolley has just stated over on YouTube. It's good to see Haidara actually start some games. Was disappointed that he's stopped starting like he did at the start of the season, although he has had a couple of small niggling injuries here or there. But going back onto Marco Rosa, I do think that he does need that DFB Pokal, but at the very least he needs to top 4 in the Bundesliga. However, if he only gets top 4 in the Bundesliga, I don't think for me, that's not good enough. It's absolute underachieving, as, There was talks that we were favourites to win the Bundesliga for the first time. I think those thoughts were inflated. I never thought that we were going to be big enough and good enough to beat, Bayern Munich or Bayer Leverkusen for that Bundesliga title, because those two teams, for me, are still the two best teams in the Bundesliga. But when you're looking at, we not getting past the first group phase of the league phase, I should say, of the Champions League, that's done and dusted. If you don't make the final or the semi-finals at the very least of the DFB Pokal, that's also a bit of a disappointment and a bit of an underachieving with the squad that we have. And then you have to get that minimum top 6, as Sporting here are really pushing hard for the equaliser. Big shot from distance, and it's over the crossbar and to the right of Martin van der Voort, and it's going to be a goal kick coming into the 71st minute of play. And yep, absolutely, Klosterman never gave up there on the top scorer there. Gonna butcher it again, Jairo Queiroz. And Nusa again is dispossessed. He's been quite poor since coming onto the pitch, as Campbell is now on the pitch for Haidara, which is a very good... I didn't want to see Haidara get taken off, but it's a very good place to have, as Sesko is making a run at goal, and he couldn't find Yusuf Poulsen, and it's been passed away and dealt with by the Sporting defence, and they're going to try a quick counter-attack as Trincao switches the play down from the right to the left-hand side. Although RBL have tracked back quite nicely with 6 players back at the very least, including pressing the the top goal scorer for Sporting. And Trincao goes down in the box, and it's waved away from the official. And again, that's Willy Orban getting into the wars this evening. Makes a desperate challenge. And yes, for me, I'm going to say now that, especially with David Raum off the pitch, Willy Orban has definitely been our best player, as he's just taking a little bit of time to get up. And this is all scripted purposely from Orban. He knows what he's doing, wasting a little bit of time. No knock on his performance, as long as he doesn't take too much time and get a booking. As the RBL fans waving all their scarves around and their flags all around the pitch. All around the ground, I should say. Really cheering on the lads, hoping to get them through the last 16 minutes or so of play. As Nusa again gets the ball, and a very poor pass, as Trolley has just stated as well over on YouTube. Nusa, since coming on, I don't like having a substitution player come on the pitch and then be taken off again. But if I was a manager, I'm that type of person where if you are playing this poorly, I would be sending a message to Antonio Nusa and taking him off the pitch. Because you can't play like this on a Champions League night. He's so much better than the skill that he's producing right now. And he needs to learn that although he's one of the top prospects in our side, him and other players aren't invincible to criticism and, being taken off the pitch or anything like that. So if you play as poorly as you are, I'm going to, in a sense, throw away that substitution and take you off the pitch. And I think that's where Marco Rosa doesn't have that, I'm going to say, not ruthlessness, but he's afraid to make statements like that. And sometimes I think you just need to do that to, get them a little bit of a wake-up call, and then they'll come back a lot better. And yeah, as Trolley says, Antonio Nusa is one of the top prospects in the world. And Sporting have the ball, one-on-one, Orban and Queiroz. He shoots, and it's a goal. I said it. He was going to score. I am sorry, everyone, because I didn't jinx it, but yeah. But he is a top player, and He ends up easily getting that into the near post. Let's make that 1-1, and it's game on. That was a rocketing shot. There's not really much knock that Martin van der Voort could have done. He did end up knocking the ball into the net, so it is good to see that he did manage to get a touch on it. And no one's popped up yet in my stats over here with an assist. It looks like it might have just been by himself, all himself. So, Yorkeresh, I think is how you're supposed to pronounce it. As, yes, Van der Voort did touch the ball. And from this audio-only capture I've got here of the touchline and the crowd in the Red Bull Arena, sounds like the Red Bull fans, or I should say the RBL fans over there in Germany, are making their voices heard. And hopefully going to cheer on the lads to at least get a draw in this one. I'm quite surprised that in this game that we've got here on my live stream that I'm watching in this watch along, that RBL, it says RBL-SPO, although Sporting is actually known as SCP. Also a good game there too, SCP Containment Breach, if anyone wants to play a game. Horror game, so make sure that you're old enough to play that one. As looks like we're struggling to get the ball out now. As always, once we concede, the team morale changes. We don't normally come back from getting goals scored against us once we've been leading anyway. And it does look like that if this ball continues in the next 4 minutes or so, that Sporting have a very good chance of getting a second goal here. And yeah, Julian did say, he also firstly said a draw. So we've had two people in the comments, especially over on YouTube this evening, that have, hold on, could have a goal here as Powson dribbles a ball in. So maybe Julian, you don't get that draw. It does look like the goal will stand. And Yusuf Powson has scored. It is 2-1 now. It has been confirmed by the third official. We're just going to quickly change the line and the score here. There we go. Benjamin Sesko, Victor Garoquez, and Yusuf Powson, the goal scorers. And Trolley says, bravo, Powson. And I will definitely say bravo as well, as it has been a while since Yusuf Powson has scored. And there is another check. This is going to be interesting. Potential foul in the build-up here. And the goal stands, so no issues there. I know they like to do their goal checks, but yes. Sometimes not needed. And yes, I would say a good substitution from Rosa. As always, if you make a substitution and they have a direct impact on the game, especially a goal, it is definitely something that is a good substitution. Do you think that RB Leipzig will bring it home with only just 11 minutes left plus added time to go? Or do you think somehow Sporting will salvage a point or take all 3 points in this fixture. Let me know wherever you are watching this down below. Also, if you're on Instagram, make sure that you are commenting along. Welcome to 35 people now watching over on Instagram. As Baumgartner tries to go through, his final pass to Powson was poor and intercepted quite easily by Sporting. And it's back again with Baumgartner. Sorry, Seshko. My apologies, couldn't see the number there. And his shot is quite weak and easily dealt with by the Sporting keeper. Excuse me, David Raum also has a yellow card from something he's done on the bench. If you're just joining into the stream now, welcome to the RBL Talk Matchday 7 watch-along of the UEFA Champions League of RB Leipzig versus Sporting CP. I am your host this evening, Justin Crozer, the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the number one destination for all things RB Leipzig in English. Welcome to the stream there, Mahmoud Al-Awai. I apologize if I've said that incorrectly. Only just 9 minutes now, plus added time for RB Leipzig to get their first points in the competition in the UEFA season of 2024-2025. Ironically enough, Sporting have had more total attempts at goal, with 13 to RB Leipzig's 9. Although with their top goal scorer still on the pitch, anything is possible. Although he found himself very offside there. But the clearance from Lucas Klosterman with a good tackle, from what Trolley has also said in the YouTube chats, that he stopped easily a good chance there going forward. Do apologise for some of my vocabulary at the moment. It is 5:57 a.m. at my local time here in Adelaide, Australia. Easy save here by Martin van der Voort. Gets up high, quite comfortable. Will take the sting out of the attack and eat up a little bit of time. And he just rolls the ball to Lucas Klosterman, and the build-up play begins. Quick plug here while we're waiting for some play action. If you'd like to join the free RB Fans Discord community run by the RBL Talk podcast, make sure you go to rbltalk.net/community and join the free RB Fans community today on Discord, where you can talk in English and you can also talk in German, and including with other RB fans. And there's dedicated channels in there, not just for the team, but also general chat as well. You can chat about absolutely anything you want. There is a few little rules there, so make sure to read the server rules before joining. But all rules are also very, what's the word I'm looking for here, on the go? Respectable. They're not over the top or anything like that. It's very basic. It's basically there for all fans to be able to have a central destination, have fun, talk with each other as Arthur Vermeeren comes on the pitch for Christoph Baumgartner. And you can also become a moderator of the RB Fans Discord channel, as well, as there is a leveling system. With the more you engage, the more points you get. And at level 15, you have the chance to be a moderator. UFC Football 2024 says, where was this team all 7 other European Champions League matches? Or UEFA Champions League matches? Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Although, don't jinx anything at the moment ourselves, as there is a corner kick for Sporting down on the right-hand side for Sporting. Excuse me. Short corner played in. Cross comes in, back post, and it's gone out for a goal kick. Header from Guy Roquez, not on target. Also, a quick plug here for the RBL Talk segment. If you would like to get on the show, just like other people have done, including special guests, make sure to get involved in the show's RBL Talk segment, where you, the listener and the viewer of this live stream, can get involved with the next episode of the RBL Talk podcast. I'll read out your comment, I'll give you credits in the show notes, and I'll respond to your comment as well in that podcast episode. You can say absolutely anything that you want, whether as long as it's about RB Leipzig in some way, be it the atmosphere in the stadium, be it how we performed, or anything like that. Make sure to do that by sending in an email at show@rbltalk.com, looking for the post on all social media, or by going to the rbltalk.com/submit at the homepage and submitting the form on there. Sporting have the ball broken away. There's about 5 RBL players back. Having said that, there's a free kick for Sporting, and Willie Orban gets a yellow card for his troubles, which is very disappointing as he has definitely been our best defender. Having said that, though, he did try to pull back on the player. So I guess you could turn around and just give him a warning, but look, the official, being the official that they are, has decided to book our captain. As long as he doesn't make any rash decisions in the next 5 minutes or so, including at a time, we will be all good. Trolley says, Sporting are trying hard and it's worrying me. Yes, there is still 3 minutes of normal time and at a time to come. Anything is possible in this lovely game we call football, as Sporting do have the ball, passing the ball from their defence down to the left-hand side. Final ball coming into the box, I should say, with the cross. And it's cleared by Noosa, probably one of the rare things he's actually done decent this evening since coming onto the pitch. As the card comes out for Van der Voort for time wasting and also a offside call as well. I will be staying on the live stream for a little bit after this fixture as well, going in with some listener questions or viewer questions on the stream. So don't go anywhere. We will go through a little bit of who you think your best players were, and also a few other things as well before we close out the stream. If there is no comments or anything like that after the stream, I will close it off, and you can still get involved with the show by getting involved in the RBL Talk segment. All you have to do is look for the social media posts, comment on those wherever you go on social media. Podcast is on all social media. Or you can email in at show@rbltalk.com or go to rbltalk.com/submit, and you can fill in the form there, which goes to me via email anyway, and I will put you on the next show in the RBL Talk segment and interact with your comments. Coming in now to the final minute of the normal time, as it does look like Sporting are really taking it to RB Leipzig at the moment. Just trying to get final ball there from Gyökeres, just poor. And there's a good clearance here from RBL, from Chedel Bishebu. It does look like that Sporting are really trying hard to get this equaliser. Trincao goes from left to right, and they're going to come in from the right-hand side now, and it's out for a throw-in, very close to the corner flag. Coming into the final minute now of normal time, with about 20 seconds left until the final few minutes of added time. I'm going to guess around about 3 minutes of added time with the stoppages that we've had so far. As RBL win the ball back in their defensive half, and it's gone back again to Sporting. RBL caught out, although very good interception there by Gertruda, who's done quite okay this evening. Nothing fantastic, but not poor, as we have 4 minutes of added time. And that's still plenty for Sporting to get a goal as they have the ball. Nice pass towards Gakures, but it's Klosterman that intercepts that one. High press here from Sporting, hoping for a RBL mistake. Pass the ball back to Vandervoort and a ball thumped forward just into the attacking half, for RB Leipzig. However, Sporting have the ball and will start their build-up play in the middle of the Red Bull Arena. Yusuf Poulsen has the ball all by himself down the right-hand side. Tries to cross the ball into the box, but it was intercepted by Sporting, and it's also offside for Yusuf Poulsen. 2 more minutes left in added time. As Ballum says, not over yet. Red Bull are almost there with this winning feeling. Hopefully, Ballum just hasn't jinxed for the points here, as it is Sporting have the ball and going forward, and it looks like it's going to go out for a corner kick down the left-hand side, as Orban's on the floor. Possibly a knee issue. I think he's milking it a little bit. I don't think he's actually injured. It did hurt a little bit. I've had my knee smashed into the ground before. They're not nice, but I actually think it's more of his wrist, to be honest. I think his body fell onto his hand there. He's up and ready to go. Tough customer. Corner kick coming in down from the left, near post. And it's been back to just outside the box. Second attempt coming in, this time far post for Sporting. And looks like it's just going to stay in. Sporting try again on the right-hand side, crossing down towards the left again. Really, excuse me. Another cross coming into the box. Easily dealt with by Bashebu, who's done very well this evening. Cross coming in. Header is away. And actually, it's off of RBL. Another corner coming in down the left-hand side, coming into the final minute of added time. Excuse me. As we hear all the RBL fans booing and whistling in the stadium. Cross comes in, near post, easily dealt with by Klosterman. Goes in for a throw-in. Around about 35 seconds left of extra time left. Quick throw-in play down the left-hand side. They go towards central, back again left. Nice press here from Yusuf Poulsen and Kevin Campbell. Forces them to go towards the right-hand side, eating up time, 20 seconds left. And pass from Sporting is blocked. Still goes back towards their defence. Long ball down towards central area and turns towards the left. Gyökeres comes in, crosses in. There was a shot on, easily blocked from Kevin Campbell. And a header just over the crossbar, out of reach. That will be everything. And it does look like that RB Leipzig will hold on for this one and will get their first points in the Champions League this season. Just got to wait for the final whistle on the stream. And there it is. And there we have it. And there you go. RB Leipzig, hold on and win. Let's just change this. There we go. After I can spell league correctly. There we go. So, RBL hold off Sporting from a late surge to get first points in the Champions League. Let's also change the word points because I can't write either, apparently. There we go. I will be staying on the stream for a little bit here, waiting for some comments and some posts you would like to get involved with in this stream. Before we do close out the show and get into those comments, I would also like to say that if you would like to get on the next podcast episode of the RBL Talk podcast, you can get involved in the RBL Talk segment. You can do this by finding the posts on social media, commenting on them. I will then inform you if you're going to be on the next podcast episode, and I'll reply to you on that podcast episode. You can also go to the social medias and send an inbox in or a direct message. You can also send an email in to show@rbltalk.com, or you can go to the homepage of rbltalk.com, click on the RBL Talk submission section, and you can do your submission that way. As Bellum says, a win is a win. Nice watch along. Thank you for having me. Winning feeling. Take care, everyone. Thank you, Bellum, for checking in and coming through. Glad you enjoyed the live stream watch along of this match day 7 in the UEFA Champions League watch along against Sporting. We will just wait for some people to trickle through, as some people do normally come through. If you would like to put your comments in, we will be commenting along and go from there. As I'll do a little bit of admin work while we wait for everyone to come in and trickle down into the stream. If you've been through the stream since the beginning or even most of the way through, thank you for coming in and joining in. Stream isn't over yet. We'll still be staying at least for a few more minutes. We do have some questions coming through here that I can see in the live chats, so please make sure that you do comment along. We will get to those very shortly. What I want to know is who you thought that the player of the match is for RB Leipzig. And also, who do you think was the best player against us? Who was the best player for Sporting as well? Still just waiting in for some people to trickle through, so welcome coming through into the stream. If you've just joined in, my name is Justin Crozer. I am the host of the RBL Talk podcast. This has been the Matchday 7 live stream watch along of RB Leipzig versus Sporting CP in the UEFA Champions League. We will now go into the comments, just having a look here. Trolley says we played a good game. And who do you think will be awarded the Player of the Match award? That's a very good question. There were some players that... I'm going to say Willie Orban, even though he got himself a booking. I wouldn't be totally against Bishebu getting it, but I don't think he did enough, unfortunately, even though he had some good signs and played some good moments in the game. I do think that Willie Orban is most likely the best person to get it, even though most people will pick an attacker or someone like that. So if it's not going to go to Willie Orban, I'm going to probably say Benjamin Sesko. However, I do think that Willie Orban is a very well-deserved winner of that one. Will it be the first time one of our players receives a European Champions League Player of the Match award? Not first time specifically, but it will be the first time for this season, if that makes sense. For this season, Trolley, that's right, yeah. And Trolley agrees with me. I think RB Leipzig's best player tonight was Willy Orban, and the best player for our opponent was Guy Perez. Maybe, I don't know. If you're just joining in on the live stream watch along, welcome to the live stream watch along. This is the back end live stream watch along of the Matchday 7 UEFA Champions League match between RB Leipzig and Sporting CP. Just remember, if you want to get involved with the podcast, you can get involved with the podcast each and every week when there's an episode in the RBL Talk segment. You do this by sending a direct message or by posting on the social media posts that say about the RBL Talk segment. You can even come on as a special guest if you like as well. Same way, you just send me a message or something on social media. You can also go on an email, send that to show@rbltalk.com, or you can go to the homepage of rbltalk.com and go to the RBL Talk submission, and you can submit your submission there for the live stream, for the show submissions for the week. I will still stay for a few more minutes while we wait for some people. They'll come trickling in. If you've got any comments or anything you would like to say during this stream before we close it off, please make sure that you do comment along before I close off the stream. The key here is that RB Leipzig finally gets some points in the UEFA Champions League in season 2024-2025, with RBL holding off a late surge from Sporting to score the first points of the season for them. That means having a look at the table now, as of its standing, with some games still to play, RBL go up to number 30, having 3 points. They do end up beating sister club RB Salzburg, who still have a game to play against Real Madrid. I don't believe they're playing until tomorrow, being Thursday night they'll be playing, which we'll be having a look. Thursday morning. So they play in 20 minutes, or 15 minutes by the looks of things. So I don't think that Real Madrid are going to drop points against Salzburg, so I do believe that we'll probably still be in front of them come end of the Matchday 7 fixture. Excuse me. Just waiting for a few more minutes now before everyone just slowly trickles in before we close off this. Good luck to RB Salzburg from what Trolley says as well. As yes, it's always good to see Real Madrid lose a game, considering that unfortunate game we played last season. I didn't like how they got around some things where they shouldn't have, without saying anything too damning. And we will slowly close off this stream. Just a couple of things I would like to plug before we do head off the stream. There's a free RB Fans Discord community that everyone is welcome to join. You can talk about the team and you can have general chat as well. There is channels specifically for German people, so if you're a local German fan, by all means, come join in that Discord channel, and you can comment along and speak with other RB fans as well around the world. You can also have direct channels in English as well. If you do speak English or understand English, you can chat about the team and also general topics in there as well. Also, if you would like to be an RBL Talk member, you are more than welcome to do that as well. You can get access to certain benefits, including the private chat section of the RB Fans Discord channel, just for Patreon members or RBL Talk members. And you can get that at patreon.com/RBL Talk. You also get unedited raw footage of any guest videos. You also get ad-free podcast episodes. You also get early episodes as well. So you also get first choice and watch-along topics as well if you're an RBL Talk member. You also get a few other things as well, and more things coming to those members as the show evolves and gets better for every single person who is a RBL Talk member. Also, don't forget about the free people that listen to the show as well, or watch these episodes for free and live stream watch alongs. You guys are just as important as the RBL Talk members, as this podcast is for every single one of you that are watching and listening to this around the globe. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for everyone that enjoys watching these live streams and enjoys the podcast episodes. This podcast is always going to be for you, not for my financial gain, but any financial help always does help. So the last thing I would like to say is that I've been Justin Crozer. This has been the live stream watch along of match day 7 in the UEFA Champions League. For those just trickling in and joining, RB Leipzig scored their first points in the UEFA Champions League in season 2024-2025, beating Sporting CP 2-1, as RBL hold off Sporting with a late surge to get the first points in the Champions League. So if you would like to get in contact with the podcast and get on the next podcast episode in the RBL Talk segment, make sure that you look for the posts on social media, and also make sure that you can email in at show@rbltalk.com, or head over to the rbltalk.com homepage and you can look at the RBL Talk submission form over there. So until next time, I've been Justin Crozer. Bye-bye for now.